have done, they pulled up their phone. Because when I first saw it, I was like, what are they doing? Why ain't they stopping them? And I apologize for that because I've been beat up by state troopers for nothing. I went to jail for nothing. They are not going to play with you. They're going to shoot you. If they're going to put their knee on the neck and snuff this guy out, they're gonna shoot you if you try to step in between them. And if he survives, they're only going to say you were wrong. It's only like this. He had to die, and that's why people have him up as a martyr. He had to die to show people that if this ever happens again, there's a reason for us to intervene. If this didn't happen, there would be no reason or any excuse for any of us to jump in and save someone in that position. Now, I don't know if that's supposed to provide comfort for people. I don't know if that makes people feel like, okay, his life wasn't taken in vain. But these are the facts. We would not be able to intervene because even with Rodney King, even with so many other people that have died at the hands of police, the brother that was in New York, that was selling cigarettes, and they killed him and snuffed him out. You know what I'm saying? Um, because they said because he was a big guy. That's all they did. Um, and I don't want to just call him a guy for selling cigarettes. I can't just say this guy. I want to. We need to say these people's names. And his name is Eric Gardner. That was his name. Um, but there's so many people that that have been a part of being the reason in the excuse and for us to be able to step in now. And George Floyd capped it off. We don't need any more reason. Rodney King was one of the first, but there was so many before Rodney King. I was one, but I wasn't recorded. They was macing me, and he was choking me like this on my back, spraying me like this. Trooper Keneally is the one that did it. Massachusetts State Trooper Keneally is the one that did it. I could have died that night. We have to feel the need to get involved, interject, intervene, and save one another. We don't need someone claiming to be the great white hope. And I don't know if that's what Cher meant. Maybe it just pulled on her heartstrings. Like, I wish I was there. I understand that. I don't think she should get as much backlash, but I think the timing. If she had said it that month, that within that quarter of within that year, then I think it would have been taken different. But now, all of a sudden, I swear, if she has an album coming out in 3 months, then I'm gonna be livid. Somebody said if the firefighter EMS who tried to intervene didn't succeed, you sure had no chance. I don't think so. I think Cher might have said, I know people that will have you fired. Get up. I think she could have said something like that. But then someone said, what a post. Mind-boggling. Do you think you have some kind of magical power? She kind of does. But she didn't use her magical power for good. Police, not in this instance, police would not allow anyone to interfere in their business. Cher is constantly helping all communities more than most. So if a kind old lady wants to wish she was there to help, I don't see a darn harm. Calm down. So a lot of people tweeted on her tweet. But yes, I think she could have. And I think if that guy saw Cher, he would have got up off his neck just because he saw Cher. You know what I'm saying? Just because. Just because. So let's not think that these people don't have power. And my thing is, because of that, I think we should speak up on her, but don't bash her too hard because we don't want her to silence, and we don't want to silence her if she is speaking on it, even if it is for personal gain. We don't want to silence her. Sometimes we got to take the help the way it comes. Speaking of help, when it comes down to vitamin D, um, and COVID-19 sweeping the world, um, so did a lot of misinformation, on how to treat it, but sometimes information can develop even uh, around ideas that, you know, that may have some truth to them. Uh, there are many treatments that have been suggested for COVID, and hydrochloroquine. I can't believe I actually said that name without stumbling this morning. Shout out to DJ Infant Bags in the building. Um, it said in vitamin D, all are or were being studied, suggesting that a treatment could be effective, and then finding it um, isn't upon further research, is all a part of the normal scientific process. Online, early or low quality research can be shared out of context, but there's some logic to it. It does play a role in immunity, and it's always recommended that everyone in the UK take supplement in the winter, the supplement of vitamin D. So whatever way you can get it in your body, get that vitamin D. With those at higher risk of vitamin D deficiency, advised to take it all year around. So, when they say take vitamin D with milk, even though milk isn't good for you, a lot of people, that whole milk does about a good thing is only because they put more vitamin D in it. Um, so if you've been getting your vitamin D through greens or milk or whatever, maybe you won't have. Maybe if you whoever knew that you eating cereal 7 times a day could save you. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they're saying. They're saying maybe you should start taking vitamin D. They said so far no research has shown convincing enough effect to support high doses to prevent the illness, although this doesn't mean that it won't change in the future. So it's understandable, I guess, if it's taken up as advice online, maybe there might be something to it. Um, Barely mentioning vitamin D's effectiveness instead of focusing on vaccines and police state tracking, or alleging the vitamins. Hey, Amanda Panda is being ignored because the World Health Organization is in the pay of big pharma. But governments are taking up other cheap, effective treatments. Of course they are, because they're losing the money. They're losing the money. They are losing the money. It may be that deficiency is the reason these groups are at higher risk. Deficiency of vitamin D. Because as you get older, vitamin D does disappear from your body, and you need to, just like all other vitamins. And that's why you see older people with 17 bottles next to their bed, because they need to keep their vitamins up. Vitamins is what save you. But the thing is, we need to start doing things that help your body continue to retain some of these vitamins. That's the main thing. Water is one of them. Keep drinking water. Keep drinking water. That's the number one thing. You know what I'm saying? Give me 1 second. Sorry, y'all. I had to take a business call. Um, but yeah, so maybe you should start taking the vitamin D. That could possibly help. I won't get too far into it. If you want to ask me more about it, you're welcome to ask me in the comments, or follow me on social media Navi Promo. That's NAVI Promo. Tomorrow we're going to talk about Hulk Hogan and McMahon, and how people are viewing McMahon, and the overall um, way he's doing things at the WWE. Seems like a lot of people are getting upset about how he's doing things. So we're going to talk about that as well. Now, besides that stuff, besides that, let me think here. What was the next up on the roster? Next up on the roster was the verses. The verses. Osley Brothers, Earth, Wind, and Fire. I'll say quickly and plainly, uh, the Osley Brothers won. The Earth, Wind, and Fire. They had about 5 real good songs that kept them in the game. They had about another 5 good songs. But the Isley Brothers, when they come hard. But I was the idiot inside. You said Earth, Wind, and Fire? No, you don't even know what you're talking about, Izzy. Um, you can't even name an Earth, Wind, and Fire song without Google. But at the end of the day, I look like an idiot because I was saying, where's Ron Isley? Ron Isley was actually there, I guess, and that was him in the gray beard. But I was like, ain't that his brother? Because one of those 3 of them, I don't know. And forgive me, I may not know or remember if one of them passed. But that did not look like the Ron Isley I knew. That looked like Valerie, how you doing? That gray beard that he had on made me feel like he was in quarantine forever. But him having that gray beard really had me thinking that was Zaddy. Oh, here you go. See, y'all got some issues. Y'all got some issues. Y'all like depleted men. Y'all like men that are a little weak for y'all to like conquer. I don't know. Yeah, y'all do. Y'all like depleted men. Y'all like depleted men, but y'all don't. That looks depleted, but then y'all could like rain on him, but he got to still be a little virile. You know what I'm saying? That's what y'all like. But anyway, wake up, y'all. Uh, one of the last stories that we got over here is these people in Atlanta. Um, People in Atlanta cannot go buy marijuana legally, to say the least. But people try to act like they can buy it, I guess, because 65 people was arrested at a marijuana dispensary. I'm sorry, but if it's not legal in the state, it's not an illegal dispensary. It's called a trap. According to the news report from Fox 5 Atlanta, 65 people were arrested in South Fulton County this past weekend in what is being described as drug grocery store. A drug grocery store. Investigators say that vendors set up their illegal weed dispensary, or sheesh or shesh, you tell me, all the weed smokers, in a 12,000 square foot warehouse, selling various illegal products, but mostly marijuana based. South Fulton Police Chief Keith? No, he's not. No, his name isn't Chief Keith. South Fulton Police Chief Keith Meadow said it really is a bold step to take this sort of a warehouse and then turn it into a drug operation. You think? You think that taking on a 12,000 square foot, look up 12,000 square feet and see how big it is. A 12,000 square foot warehouse and turn it into a drug operation. Certainly unusual from our standpoint. As you can see from the number of individuals we have uh, detained behind us, you had them all up there like a bunch of turkeys or some bears that he caught in the wilderness. It's common in mass, but not in Atlanta. Authorities are still determining which of the 65 people were customers and who were vendors. They like, hey, I was just here buying the weed. I wasn't even buying. I was just window shopping. I heard about it. And I just came through. They said, look, we don't know who's who. They came through that door. Them people that were selling those weed products, them bongs, them half a peas, whatever they were selling, they hopped on the other side of the counter. And that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? Who over here with the 4-1 like it was a birthday or a battle? Shout out to Pink Body over here one time, Pink Couture B on Instagram. Um, Pink Couture with a K. Um, but yeah, with events such as this being held in several East Coast cities, even states where marijuana is decriminalized,